Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. So, as of today, when I look at my database, I have 203 box sets in my database. I have probably about another 20 or so downstairs that are in my backlog. So, let's say in total I have about 225 box sets. When I talk about box sets, what my favorite ones? Well, I think Madfish over in the UK, they produce the greatest box sets. That Wishbone Ash Vintage Years box set right up there, that's probably my favorite box set by anybody. It's huge. I have a Caravan box set downstairs that's like 38 discs. Haven't even gotten through that one. I got that like 2 years ago. They're incredible. When I think about the best box sets, my favorite box sets that are deluxe edition of single albums, let's say, a box set based on an album. My two favorites are Jethro Tull, and I've shown these and discussed these many times. These are the box sets for each individual Tull album. Bursting Out's the most recent one, which I haven't gotten yet. But here's all the other ones. These are incredible. I've talked about those. You get a massive amount of music and video in some cases, and 100-plus page books, and not booklets, books. I mean, these are incredible, and the price is relatively cheap. The other one that I think does the amazing box sets, if I look up there, you're going to see the Who box sets, if you can look closely. There is My Generation, Who Sell Out, Tommy, Who's Next, The Lifehouse, Quadrophenia. Those are incredible box sets. Those are those uber mega deluxe box sets from the Who. Those are incredible, but they're very expensive relatively. But you get a tremendous amount of stuff, and the packaging's incredible. So for me, who does the best box sets of all time for albums? Jethro Tull and the Who, in my opinion. Now, who else does amazing box sets for their albums? Bruce Springsteen. Now, he's only done really 3. 2 days ago, I got a request from a viewer named Jason who's thinking about getting into Springsteen box sets, and he's asking me about the Tracks box set, but that's something else. And he was talking about The Promise, The Darkness on the Edge of Town, and the River one, which is called The Ties That Bind. And you know what? I have a playlist that I haven't done in a while called Favorite Box Sets. There's 18 videos in there. And a lot of people were interested in my favorite box set. So for Jason and for the general public, let's check out, I'm going to, over the next couple of days, I'll do 3 videos, one each on each of these amazing Bruce Springsteen box sets. Now, we'll start with this one, The Ties That Bind, the River Collection. This thing is huge. And I'm going to go through it, and I'll unbox it, so to speak, and go through it with you. It's kind of interesting. He was doing these really in like 5-year increments. So this one came out when? In 2015. And then the Promise, The Darkness on the Edge of Town one came out in 2010. And then the small one, which I guess was his first one, this Born to Run one, this came out in 2005. So he was kind of doing them, it seemed like, every 5 years. We're now in 2024, so Bruce is running a little bit late. Let's go through The Ties That Bind, the River Collection. So what you got here is 7 discs. You got 4 CDs and 3 DVDs that cover the whole story of the river. So this is probably the easiest way. This is the back, and this is that. It actually opens from the top. I'll show you. But let's go through it right there. So what you have, this is the CDs, obviously. The first CD and the second CD are just The River, the album that, of course, Springsteen put out in 1980 and was his first United States #1 album, actually. So they remastered it, and that's what the first 2 discs are. Now, the third disc is called the River Single Album. The album was really going to come out in 1979, and it was going to be called The Ties That Bind. And that was going to be a single album, not the double. And then he decided to scrap that. So there, he actually reproduces in this box what that album would have been, The Ties That Bind, right there, which is pretty cool. Very different than the released album of The River, as you can see. Ties That Bind, Cindy, Hungry Heart, Stolen Car, Be True, The River, You Can Look But Better Not Touch, The Price You Pay, Wanna Marry You, and Loose Ends. Very different from the double album, but pretty great. Then you get a CD with 22 outtakes, which we're going to talk about. And then you get 3 DVDs. There's a documentary called The Ties That Bind. I think, let me look there. Yeah, that was 56 minutes long, to be exact. Really great documentary. Springsteen plays acoustic guitar, talks about the tracks and the making of the album. And then you get a full DVD right there. Tempe, Arizona, from 1980, live. That first disc has got 19 tracks. And that disc is 142 minutes long. So that's 2 hours and 22 minutes. And it's not even a complete concert. That's 19 tracks. And then you go into disc 3, DVD, and that's the rest of the concert that they have here. Another 6 songs. And then you get also, that's 58 minutes long. And you got some rehearsals as well. Right there, and that's like another 20 minutes. I'm looking at my database. My database is really accurate. So pretty amazing, and it's also in 5.1 surround sound. So this thing is a fully loaded box of the history of the river, The Ties That Bind. Let's open it up. It opens from the top down, and we'll go through the parts. So let's stick this over here for now, like that. Rested on Jethro Tull, and you'll see when we do the Promise, the River one, that's really amazing. But this one comes with a reproduction of one of his notebooks, the composition books, and you can see there, that's his handwriting, I guess, and it's literally a reproduction of what it was. It even has some scratch on the back. So pretty cool how they did this. And when you open it up, what you have in this book is lyrics. And some of them are typed, and some of them are handwritten. And especially if you're a lyric person, fascinating stuff. I'm actually not that kind of person who sits there and reads all the lyrics and the different versions of the lyrics. But it's there for you. I mean, as you can see, this thing is pretty cool. And you could even see the lines. They literally did a great job copying this, and we are looking at, I'm sure, Springsteen's original notebook, which is pretty great. So it looks like that, and I guess he stapled the handwritten ones there. Pretty cool. And then you get to the end, and at the bottom of the end you got some credits. So pretty cool. That's one part of the box. Then let's look at this. This is the hardcover, and it's called The Ties That Bind, The River Collection. It's got embossing on there, and this is a really, really nice hardcover book that fits in the outer case, and I'll see if I could do this. And you get an intro from Mikhail Gilmore, legendary rock and roll journalist, with a great photograph, American River. And basically, I don't want to break this thing, as it just fell almost, but you get a lot of copy there. Well, not that much copy, actually. History of it. And the rest of this book is pretty much, if I remember right, now it is an intro right there from Bruce Springsteen. He talks about it. And a lot of photographs. That's what I remembered in here. And again, this box came out in 2015, so I haven't heard it in quite a long time, but when I got it, I really dug into it, of course. So a lot of black and white photographs. You got copy on top of it. It's really beautifully done. From the tape boxes, from the power station, and lots of beautiful photographs in his white Ford pickup. So, Bruce's get you some captions there of where he is and what's going on. There's the band. And that's really cool. I'm a really big guy for clippings. I have my own clippings collections. So that's always fun. Here's the review That's Rolling Stone magazine on the river. And we can keep going. Chart positions. Again, The River was Springsteen's first #1 album in America. Hungry Heart was a big hit. And another newspaper review. And the single of Hungry Heart. And we'll keep going. Here's Clarence. So this is a really nice book. Beautiful photographs, and especially I love the clippings that are mixed in there. And a couple of color photographs here. And right there. Sound checks. So hopefully you could kind of see this concert as starting to show pictures from the tour. Cool thing, I don't know if you remember, here's ticket stubs, Madison Square Garden. It's way cool. So when he released this box set in 2015, this is really cool. Tour dates from the River Tour. So he's a superstar now. He's he's playing multiple nights at 2 nights at the Garden there, followed by 3 at the Nassau Coliseum. Oh my God, then he comes back. Please, God knows how many nights at the Meadowlands, the Spectrum, Los Angeles Sports Arena. Yeah, he's huge. Got #1 album with this Hungry Heart hit single. So he's really now superstar. So really cool, great photographs. And that's what this is. And then you got the closing paragraph there of words. So it's a really, really beautifully done hardcover book. So far we got the outer case, we got the composition book, and we got this hardcover book. And let's look at what else came in here. Well, this is kind of where all the discs are. So you open it up, and it looks like that. Really nicely done. Really nicely done, because you got to look really close to find the disc. Where's the disc? Remember, there's 7 discs here. In fact, there's the hype sticker, which I stuck in there if you want to see. 4 CDs and 3 DVDs. And this is what it looks like. So here's the River album, digitally remastered. And again, that's on 2 discs, so that's disc #1. And I love how they did that. Classy when they put like an outer case for the CD as opposed to just the CD loose in there, which gets scuffed up. And here's disc #2 of The River. Again, digitally remastered. Sounds amazing. And then below that, I love how they did that. There's hidden things in here. Looks like a paperclip. Of course, it's not. And then what do we have here? This would be disc 3. And this would be, I believe, yeah, this is the single album of The River, which would have been called The Ties That Bind. So that's really interesting to actually listen to it. It's a great listen, of course. And there is supposed to be side 1 of what would have been The Ties That Bind, the album, and then side 2. So pretty different than what he eventually did, releasing it as a double album, and some of the songs got cut, loose ends got cut. Then you have this one. This is disc 4, and this is called The River Outtakes. Looks like that. And there's 22 songs on this one disc. So a lot of stuff on here, if you could see it. Now, the interesting thing, or one of the interesting things about this disc of 22 outtakes, 11 of them were unreleased, which means 11 of them were previously released, and a lot of them were on the, some of them were on the Tracks box set, which is that amazing box set of Springsteen outtakes. So they put some of those on here again. You know, you can see it, Roulette, Restless Nights, Where the Bands Are, Dollhouse, Living on the Edge of the World, Take 'Em As They Come, Ricky Wants a Man of Her Own, I Want to Be With You, Mary Lou, Held Up Without a Gun, This whole thing, you recognize those from tracks. But then you got the first 11 songs, which were not previously released. So kind of interesting. But that's fine because it's part of the river. So even though they were on tracks, it's good to have here. And let's keep going. After that, you got 3 DVDs. And this is Live at Tempe, Arizona. And that's the tracks on that. Professionally shot. It's like multi-cameras, amazing sound. This is fantastic. So if you want to see Springsteen live back in 1980, here it is. And that disc is 142 minutes long. And it's big, but it can't even carry the whole concert. And in fact, it's not even the whole concert. It's most of the concert, but not the whole concert. And then it carries over onto the next DVD. You got six more tracks. And then you got some rehearsal stuff as well. So that's this disc. And then there's another DVD, which is over here, which is called The Ties That Bind. And that is your documentary, and Bruce's documentaries are fantastic for each album. Each box set has amazing documentaries, and this one's almost an hour. I think it's 56 minutes with the chapters. So there you have it, Jason and anybody else. This is the box set of the River collection called The Ties That Bind, and it all comes together like this. And interestingly enough, it gets top-loaded downward like that, which is kind of interesting, a little bit strange. Normally, it would open on the side, but it comes into the top, and that's what it looks like, and it's pretty heavy. And this, again, is what's on it. So I hope you enjoyed this full unboxing of this 2015 box set from Bruce Springsteen. I think you would agree that he really has done an amazing job on his individual album box sets. Next one I'll do in a day or two. I'll do this one, the Darkness on the Edge of Town one, and then I could do a quick video of the Born to Run. There's not that much in that one relatively. So pretty cool. And Jason, yeah, highly recommended. My God, these are just amazing. I don't know if they're still around. Now, if you're a really big Springsteen fan, and I am, I don't claim to be the world's biggest Springsteen fan, and I'm a big fan, but not ridiculous. But there are tons of bootlegs out there with a lot more unreleased Springsteen stuff like this one. This is called A Tear Must Fall, Remastered River Outtakes. This is actually 3 CDs of outtakes of the River. And pretty cool. Comes with a full color booklet in here. So some of these bootlegs get really, really cool. Now, funny thing is, if you're a Springsteen fan, and the last album he did, Letter to You, he actually dug into some of this old River stuff that was never released. So like Jenny Needs a Shooter, which he had given to Warren Zevon, he redid that one. That goes back to this time, and he put that on Letter to You. And what's that other one? If I Was a Priest, that's an old River outtake as well that he put on the album. There's another one on there, Song for Orphans. That's also an old outtake that's on the Letter to You. So just a little side note, interesting thing that even with these box sets, there's always tons more that you can get. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this. As I always say, stay safe, stay healthy. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. Check out, if you go to playlists, favorite box sets has 18 videos. This one will be 19. And maybe like in a day or two, I'll do the next Springsteen box set video for Darkness on the Edge of Town. Maybe I'll throw in the River as well. So I hope you enjoy it. As always, thanks again. I'll see you next time on the Alan Rosenberg Show.